Good afternoon, everyone. We're here today to discuss a very disappointing situation. We are committed, as you know, to transparency in our agency, and we want to maintain that transparency with our community. I'm announcing today that 2 Detroit police officers were arrested over the past couple days. Again, this is very disappointing for us. We have a very hard-working department, men and women that you all know put their lives on the line day in and day out for all of our safety. And certainly these independent off-duty acts are not representative of the hard-working men and women of our department. The alleged conduct is certainly disturbing. You know, we are held to a higher standard, plain and simple, and these allegations are certainly disturbing. Both incidents occurred off-duty, and both incidents occurred outside the city of Detroit. They're separate incidents. They are not related in any way, and both are felony offenses. The first offense is criminal sexual conduct, and the other is felonious assault, brandishing a firearm. The criminal sexual conduct, we will be providing very limited information. Both of these, as I've indicated, occurred outside of our jurisdiction, but we're certainly going to be sensitive to the victim of the criminal sexual conduct and act accordingly. So we will not be able to go into specific details about that one. But the second one emanated from a road rage incident outside, again, our city. I want to be clear that these are alleged actions, and these actions certainly were investigated by the jurisdictions in question. The warrants were submitted to the prosecutor's office for review, and the prosecutors returned a finding on those where they issue warrants on both of our members. I have reviewed the information that we've been provided. I've looked at it, and I've seen enough there to give me some very serious concern about the conduct of these 2 officers. And as I often say, wearing a badge is an absolute privilege. It is not a right. And these 2 officers, at least preliminarily, did not uphold that privilege to wear the badge at this time. So with that, I am exercising my authority to suspend both officers immediately without pay. Well, it'll be initially with pay, and I'll be making a recommendation to the Board of Police Commissioners this Thursday that both of these officers are suspended without pay. Again, I'll be exercising my authority to suspend both officers immediately with pay, with a recommendation to the board who convenes on this Thursday for a recommendation of suspension without pay. Commander McGinnis, who heads our professional standards unit, will come up and provide some very high-level information for you at this time.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon, Commander Michael McGinnis, in charge of Professional Standards Bureau. So the first incident, a CSC incident, occurred on July 27th, 2023, and that is in the city of Woodhaven. And the officer from that case was criminally charged by the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office with criminal sexual conduct. Woodhaven Police Department is in charge of that investigation, and they have been very helpful to us so we can move forward with our administrative responsibilities. That member has been relieved of duty. The second incident occurred Saturday, July 29th, in the city of Madison Heights. And this incident was a felonious assault, and that felonious assault stemmed from what the Madison Heights Police Department has conveyed to us as a road rage incident. That member has also been relieved of duty. The first incident, sorry, I failed to mention, that officer has 5 years on the job, and in the second incident, the felonious assault and brandishing, that member has 26 years on the job. Both have been arraigned, and the Chief will address any concerns that you may have.
Thank you. With that, we'll take any questions.
I have a lot of questions. Camille Mary from Fox 2. Can you give us details? I know you said high level, and obviously you have to protect the victim, but criminal sexual conduct, obviously very disturbing for a police officer to be charged with this. What can you tell us about those charges?
Yeah, and as you can imagine, it's a very difficult case to discuss because of the victim involved, and you know, my commitment is not to re-victimize the victim by putting too much information out, as well as to not compromise the case that the prosecutor has. So what we're focused here on today is transparency and the fact that it happened. With regards to the specifics involving it, I can only tell you that it was an action that occurred off duty, that there are no other victims involved in this. There's only one victim. This is not a predator situation. This isn't any members of the department nor City of Detroit residents are at risk. And this was a matter, again, that happened off duty in a confined location. And I really have to stay there with it. I apologize.
So you can't say whether or not it was a minor or...
It was not a minor. Thank you for that question. It was not a minor. This is an adult victim. And that's, I'm right there at it right now, so I'll stop there.
Okay. The second one while I'm up here, felonious assault, you're talking about this being a road rage incident, on the freeway. What are the circumstances surrounding this that you could relate to this?
Yeah, the only thing I can tell you about that case, and again, they're both outside of our jurisdiction, so I'm sure that you all will be having contact soon with the respective jurisdictions. But this incident appears to be simply a road rage incident, well, not simply, but unnecessarily a road rage incident where there was some type of altercation between the officer off duty in their personal vehicle, not in a police car, in a civilian attire, not in uniform, where there was an interaction with the other party, the victim in this case, and her weapon was pointed at the suspect or at the victim at that time.
So female officer on the second one,
Yes.
male officer on the first.
That's correct.
What are their ranks, and are you going to be releasing any photographs or their identity?
So the photographs will come from the jurisdictions with their arraignment photo. Once that's released, we will work on getting you our department media photo. I will authorize that release at that time. The first officer, and this is the CSC officer, is a member of our 3rd precinct, and he has 5 years on the job. The female officer, 26 years on the job, and a member of our tactical operations unit. And again, they have both been relieved of their duty.
And their ranks are?
I'm sorry, both are police officers. One is a corporal, the female officer is a corporal, and the male officer is a police officer.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Rick Cass with Channel 7. Can you go into at all the disciplinary history of these two officers? I know one was 26 years and the other was 5 years.
Yeah, nothing sensational in either of them. I mean, it's already a disappointing situation, but you know, we always look at our risk protocols and things such as that, and nothing sensational jumps out at you with either officer. The 26-year veteran, not even a large number of citizens' complaints.
Gotcha. And in that incident, can you go into any further detail? Was there was no shots fired, correct?
No shots fired, not at all.
And was there a physical assault at all?
No, this was just, you know, unfortunately a road rage incident, back and forth, and but no shots were fired and no physical altercation. No one, at least that I know of. You know, again, it's not our case. I don't have all the granular details, but no one left the vehicles and there was no physical assault.
Gotcha. And then I know this was off duty in a personal car. Was it a personal firearm? It wasn't like a service weapon?
Yeah, we're looking at that now. It was likely department issued, but I don't know, so it'd be irresponsible for me to confirm that. We'll know that in a few days once we get the reports. All right. Oh, sorry.
Hey, Chief Victor Windsor, Local 4, just one question for me. We know you guys want to be transparent and hold officers accountable, but with these two arrests that you guys have made, or with these two charges that have now been filed, what message does that send to the rest of the force as well as the community?
Yeah, I mean, we're always going to be transparent. I mean, that's what this administration has been about. I'm going to be committed to it. It's tough. You know, we celebrate the great work of our officers. I've got 2,000 of the hardest working in the country, and I stand with that. But we have a situation here that we have to stand in front of and be transparent with the community and continue to earn their trust. And I was not going to let this, you know, get out without me getting in front of it and letting you all know where we stand. The message is, as it will always be, as long as I'm chief, that wearing this badge is an absolute privilege and it is not a right. And if you do anything outside of that privilege that compromises the integrity of this agency with this community, you give up that right or that privilege, and you will not have the right to wear this badge. And that's really that simple. Our officers, I don't have to pound that into our officers. You know, you see it day in and day out with these are some of the best in the country to ever do it. They know that, but we had two that have appeared, at least preliminarily, to step outside of our standards, and we're going to hold them accountable.
Thank you all for coming.
All right, thank you.